Athletics be this season without the fine play of the two young corner infielders, Matt Chapman and Matt Olson. Both drafted into the system, played in the minors together, and now are excelling at the major league level and on the way to the postseason in just their second year in the big leagues. Both are favorites to win Gold Gloves and continue to help their ball club win games and hopefully get the franchise another World Series title. The future looks bright for the organization with these two on the field. Chapman, Olson, and the A's take on the Angels next. Well, we are at the Big A in Anaheim. Just two more games left in the regular season for the Athletics as they get themselves ready for postseason. It's the A's and the Angels, game 2 of the series coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another night of Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Let's talk about the cornerstone corner players for the A's, starting with Matt Chapman. He's just 25 years old, Ray. He's got star player written all over him. And I think the thing that stands out for me is how much better he has gotten from April until now.
That's a great point, especially post-All-Star break for Matt Chapman. 5-tool player, he can do it all offensively. The thing I like about what he does, and I think Darren Bush likes it as well, he waits on the ball. The ball comes to him. That's why he is able to hit the ball so hard, straight away center field, with the power, going opposite field. That makes him a special hitter. How about his defense? Gold Glove, he may have to start fixing up his room someplace for a lot of Gold Gloves because he is outstanding. He can play deep, use his strong arm. He can charge, use his strong arm. There's nothing that man cannot do at third base defensively.
All right, let's go across the diamond to first baseman Matt Olson. He's only 24 years old. To talk more about him, let's head downstairs to our own Dallas Braden.
Matt Olson has been nothing short of brilliant for the Oakland A's this season, whether it's at the plate or on the defensive side of the baseball. Matt Olson has done it all. Well, we'll get started here with him at the dish. Take a look at the average. 247 might not be as sparkling as you think, but close to 30 home runs, 84 RBIs. Those are good for the high water marks in the AL for first baseman. And on the defensive side of the baseball, Matt Olson is an absolute wizard. We know what Chappie can do over there at the hot corner, but Matt Olson makes everybody go in this infield. Jed Lowry, Matt Chapman, it doesn't matter who. Matt Olson, if you're looking for dessert, he's got a big scoop on the other end for you.
All right, thanks a lot, Dallas. And the A's, well, they're looking to even up this series at a game apiece. Liam Hendriks will be the opener tonight for the Athletics. Stick around. We'll come back and have lineups and first pitch from Anaheim right after this.
California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
Welcome back to the Big A here in Anaheim as the A's and the Angels set to square off game 2 of this 3-game series. 8-5 was the final last night. The Angels built the big lead and then hung on and took game 1 of the series. Let's check the game time weather here in Anaheim. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend, and it is another beautiful night for baseball. It's 72 degrees, not a whole lot of humidity, and just a very, very nice light breeze. So, one of the reasons why players like to play here.
Absolutely, 100%.
Pretty much a perfect night. So the Angels take the field wearing the red tops and white pants. The A's in the all gray uniforms tonight. So here's the starting lineup for the Athletics, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It starts with Ramon Laureano. Then it's Matt Chapman, Jed Lowry, and Chris Davis. Steven Piscotty is in right. Canna is in left. Simeon Zard. Chad Pinder's going to get the start at first base tonight. And Jonathan Lucroy is your catcher.
Well, the young man, the Angels hope is going to be a mainstay in the rotation next year, although this year been injured several times and made the start on the 18th of September at the Coliseum. He was returning from the disabled list, went just 3 innings. He did not give up a hit or a run. A couple of walks, 3 strikeouts in his next start at Houston. Similarly, pitched less than that, but they're trying to get him back on track, and a very good left-handed pitcher, and especially for the future of this club.
Here's the defense for the Angels. Upton, Trout, and Calhoun in the outfield. Ward, Simmons, Coward, and Fernandez on the infield. And Jose Urseño is the catcher. So, same guys except for the catcher spot. Ohtani will be the DH tonight.
Highlighted on Diamond Vision was the bobblehead for Mike Scioscia, and bobblehead tonight. Of course, many think that tomorrow might be his last game managing. So a bobblehead tonight, and highlighted him as a player with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and was winning the championship with the Angels in 2002. 19 years managing the Angels. And I think everybody's wondering what's going to happen tomorrow with Mike Scioscia. Bob Melvin is thinking the same thing about what's going to happen to a man that he said he learned a lot from. And both former catchers, the A's Bob Melvin, and of course Mike Scioscia of the Angels.
So the throw goes down to second base, and we're about ready to get this ball game underway. A's sitting on 96 wins. They're 96-64. 2 more games to play. And then on to New York for the American League wild card game on Wednesday night. So Laureano is just about ready. Wouldn't be a bad idea to get this game going. What are we waiting for, Ray?
Big Joe. Maybe he wanted to sing the anthem, and he's still upset that he didn't get a chance to break out the pipes.
First pitch of the ball game is a fastball outside. So Joe West will call balls and strikes. He is the crew chief. Marty Foster, Mark Ripperger, and Doug Eddings. Rest of the group. Foul tip, and the count even at 1-1. Laureano at 289. He's got 5 home runs. He's got 19 RBIs.
He's found himself getting quite comfortable at the top of the lineup.
0-for-3 with a walk and a run scored last night. Saw something interesting today before the game. Out in front of the dugout on the grass. They were doing some infield drills with Ramon Laureano. How about that?
Well, you know, guys, it's been something that they've done since the beginning of September. The great roving infield instructor for the Oakland A's, longtime roving infield instructor Juan Navarrete, who makes his way throughout the minor league system, showed up early September and took Ramon and some other guys out there and banging away at the craft. You'll see him on their knees and Juan on his knees with a fungo in his hand, hitting short one-hop ground balls. And it's just about being consistent with a hand-eye, having a feel for the baseball. And again, it's just about refining the little things, doing the little things, keeping the fundamental edge sharp.
And Al Pedrique takes over when Juan is not here, and that's who's been doing it pretty consistently. Ron Washington did it with bat boys, guys down in the bullpen. He said, you need some work, let's go.
Strike 3 call. Laureano knew it. And that is out number 1.
Now, Tyler Skaggs, again, a very good pitcher, and has been for the Angels since joining their ball club. And there it is, painted the outside part of the plate, 92, and really does not throw extremely hard. However, with that kind of location, you don't need to.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
Take a look at how he goes about his business there with the heater. Pitching off the fastball, 58% fastball, 29% curveball. So that's going to be the mix. That's going to be the recipe for success for Skaggs. Get ahead early. Spin that breaking ball.
Yeah, he's got good stuff, just has to stay healthy, and he has not been able to do that. He's been on the disabled list twice this year. So making his 24th start. He does have a career high in innings, 122. But I think the simple fact that that is his career high says that he's missed a lot of time. If he could stay healthy, he could be a very, very good pitcher for the Angels.
I think the Angels would just like to see healthy starting pitchers regardless.
In general, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, if the Angels could figure out maybe 3 guys that could give them 28+ starts, they would be ecstatic.
2-2 the count to Matt Chapman. There's that big breaking ball from Skaggs.
Chapman down in his home part of the country, and a lot of Chapman fans on hand prior to the ball game down on the warning track.
A lot of Chapman jerseys.
Oh, a lot of Chapman jerseys, all there. As Mickey Morbido said, all these people here for you? Yep. Sure. Mom and Dad, Jim and Lisa, and of course, an entourage. Actually, Jim was out on tailgating today. His dad was, so he wasn't even out here watching this Sunday.
Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So Liam Hendricks will be the opener tonight. Sounds like he will be followed by Trevor Cahill. That's what we've been told anyways. So here's Jed Lowry. Lowry had 268 with 22 home runs and 97 RBIs. He was 2 for 5 last night. A couple singles and an RBI. So trying to grind out 3 more runs batted in to get him to 100 for the first time in his career.
A couple a night, get 1 tomorrow, and take it to the house.
And a quick 0-2 to Lowry.
You know, if you've never been there, and Jed has never, and you know, you look at guys who hit home runs and RBIs in this case for Jed Lowry, 97 on the season. KD with 121. JD Martinez leading the pack. But it seems like driving in runs, if you're trying to attain something you've never done before, that would be something a little bit easier than hitting a home run. Unless your name's Chris Davis.
Just need a base hit to drive in runs.
Exactly. KD can take a long ball. Jed, even though he's had a great year home run wise, but still more of a run producer.
Hits this one well to center. Trout going back. Trout near the wall, and he's got just enough room to make the catch. So Lowry just missed it. Sent Trout close to the wall.
Just underneath this, and you can see the aggravation on Jed Lowry's face. He knew he got a hanger, typically one he takes advantage of, but again, high breaking ball up, tough pitch to really get on plane with. And Mike Trout, a center fielder who plays a deep center field to begin with, didn't have to track much far, but you could see frustration for Jed Lowry.
So 2 away, and here's Chris Davis.
Chris Davis hits a hanger like that, I think it'd go to the rock pile.
Very high and foul down the right field line.
Yeah, I thought the sign where Mike Trout, of course, caught the ball in center field, but the sign that they have up there, that's impressive. 3 million plus fans, 16 consecutive years. That's impressive. There you go. 3 million fans, 16 straight years. Under the ownership of Artie Moreno. I mean, you think about, I remember at one time, if you drew 800,000 people, you paid for everything. The organization, that was then. This is now a little bit different, but that's pretty special. Well, this is what happened with KD. Chris Davis to right field. There's your right field shot, and nobody has more power to right field than Chris Davis. August 11th of this year, as he started against the A's at the Coliseum on the 18th of September, but that was here where he took him deep.
And that one's hit well to right field. Calhoun going back. Calhoun at the wall, and that baby's gone. Got him again. 2-0 A's lead.
Nice going, Lair. Show one, and he says, that looks so good, I'll do it again. Unbelievable. 48-123. There you go, Cal. 15, 16, 17.
Well, he went back to the well because he thought that water would taste good once more, and it sure did. KD, drink up, my friend. 91-mile-an-hour heater outside. KD must have been hungry early. Oppo tacos for everybody.
Well, nice thing about that shot, picture of Yankee Stadium. That is way deep in Yankee Stadium. But right field, and that's what Chris Davis is going to be able to do when the A's do travel to New York on Wednesday. We talk about Judge and Stanton. Some of the guys can be right-handed hitters, go to right field. Well, Chris Davis, you just saw 17 right field home runs on this season, in which he's hit 48.
His 133rd home run as an Oakland A, 10th on the all-time home run list in a very short period of time. Won the count to Stephen Piscotty. He's got 26 home runs of his own, 85 RBIs.
Well, the A's scored 4 runs, but not against Skaggs in his last start. It came against the bullpen. Skaggs just threw 51 pitches in his first start since returning from the DL.
2-2 the count to Piscotty, who was 0 for 2 last night, had a couple of walks and scored a run. And now full count.
We were talking last night about left-handers starting in New York because of the short port in right field. But if you look at the A's lineup, typically against a lefty, you're going to see this kind of a right-handed hit lineup, and it's not going to change that much for a righty. Lefties and righties going to see the same. Tonight, Olsen not starting. I'm sure he's probably going to be starting in the wild card play-in game. But you've got a lot of right-handed hitters in this lineup for the Athletics can do what Chris Davis just did.
So another 3-2, 26th pitch in the first inning for Tyler Skaggs. It's lined into the netting right above the A's dugout. That home run by Chris Davis, the 224th the A's have hit this year. And the pitch is a little bit inside, no swing, and it's a walk.
Charles Nagy, his first trip to the mound as a pitching coach to talk to his left-hander. Charles Nagy played for many of the Cleveland Indians' pretty good teams, the old stadium by the stake by the lake.
So the A's now with 806 runs scored. Check it out. This is in Oakland A's history. Most runs in a season, 947 in 2000.
Yeah.
Remember, it's a lot if you get over 800.
But Bob Melvin's picking up a bat. I don't know what that means, but
so they have a chance to. Well, you're going to shoot ahead of the 1987 team.
You know, Cap, you're right. And talking about 800, you mentioned up in Seattle how special that is when you score 800 runs. That's a whole bunch in the course of a season.
So 1-0 the count to Mark Canha. Well, the Boston Red Sox lead the American League in run score. 861. The Yankees are second. 841. Now that's coming into today.
They score a lot of runs. They've got a couple MVP candidates in that lineup. Mookie Betts, J.D. Martinez.
Breaking ball just missed inside, so the count 2-1 to Mark Canha.
That's a pretty good take there by Mark Canha. 1-1 curveball from Skaggs, trying to get himself back into the count just off the inside part of the plate. Soft coming to him. Something Mark Canha likes from the lefty.
Another good take, and now he's in the driver's seat with the count 3-1.
And this is what you love to see for the Oakland A's right now. Grinding out these at-bats early on. You do some damage early. You stick with the game plan. Wear that starter out quick.
And now 3-2. So 3-2, 2 outs. The runner Piscotty will take off.
Yeah, Liam Hendricks is eventually going to take the mound and basically just do what he does best, and that's throw fastballs. And the rematch on the 18th, Liam Hendricks started for the Athletics as the opener. He scored the 4 runs against the Angels in the 4th inning, but the Angels came back and scored the Caleb Coward only home run this season. Came against the Athletics and the grand slam.
Payoff pitch, high fastball, and Canha swings and misses. Chris Davis with his 48th home run of the year. He's going to lead the big leagues in home runs this year, folks. 2-0 A's lead. Lead 2-0 lead. Let's take a look at the Angels lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It's Calhoun, Fernandez, Trout, Ohtani, Upton, Simmons, Ward, Cowart, and Brasheño.
And once again, it's Liam Hendricks, the opener for the Athletics. Hendricks has been the main guy, although last night we saw Lou Trevino. Made 7 starts, all those in the opener role since he's been a starter in his earlier life as a major league player, but primarily as a relief pitcher. But getting the opportunity on September the 1st for the first time for the Athletics in September, as he was recalled after being DFA'd, AAA. And now in the role as a potential opener for who knows how long.
So he faces Cole Calhoun, leading it off here in the bottom of the first. And the first pitch is a little bit inside, I guess.
You know, one thing, Liam Hendricks, we saw him in the A's dugout in the past. He had been down in the bullpen and then would run in, but he found out that the clock started and he didn't have as much time to take the warm-up tosses. So he finished in the bullpen, sat in the dugout, watched his club score 2 runs, and out on the mound.
Canna in left is there. He's got it. So 1 away. Quick look at the A's defense. You see Canna is in left. Laureano's in center and Piscotti is in right. And it's Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Pinder. Pinder playing first, and Luke Croy is your catcher. Chad Pinder at first. Matt Olson will get in this game at some point because, well, everybody wants Matt Olson to play in 162 games this year. He's played in every game, so somehow, somewhere, he will be in this game.
Absolutely. Sooner than later.
Hit hard, but fun.
By the way, Chad Pinder used the glove of Renato Nunez. He's no longer with the club, but it's a traveling first baseman's mitt. And why not? Pinder didn't have one. He's played, as he said, all the positions except first base, and now catcher is. I said, get the gear on. Let's go. Get it on. And he's looking forward to the opportunity. Probably will not get it, but at least he's willing to catch if necessary. But tonight at first base, and
hey,
that's right. First career game, and he had to find a first baseman's mitt. Definitely
that would help.
Didn't have one for his own. See that the manufacturers at one time would give you the glove that you played in different positions. They would give you a glove for every one. The catcher, first baseman, infielder, outfielder, they're all different types of gloves. I think he's trying to get accustomed to that one. It's a little bit bigger.
Can't get that one. That's a base hit by Jose Fernandez.
He's been Mr. Versatility.
A lot of outfield play, but also second base, and he played a fair amount of second base when Lowry moved over to third.
Yeah.
But first start at first base, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, is if you play first base, you have to use a first baseman's glove.
Yeah.
Right? That's a rule.
As of since John Lester, I think that was last year. That changed because Zobrist would go over to play first, and Rizzo would come in.
Yeah, that's right.
Play.
They have a special bunt play that they do.
And so I think after that happened, he said, hey, if you're going to play first, you have to wear a first baseman mitt. That's a good point. But, I mean, you want to do it anyway because the way you have to scoop balls, and as we talk about the stretching, which Olson does very well.
Yeah, they would have Rizzo come in, and Rizzo would be using a pitcher's glove or a left-handed infielder's glove.
That's right, yeah.
Just basically a shortstop's glove for a lefty. And Zobrist would be the one with that glove because Rizzo had no fear of getting right up, and still has no fear of getting right up in the face of the hitter and covering that entire area.
So even Rizzo could not use his first baseman's glove because technically, I guess he was not playing first base.
Yeah, and I think that rule was changed when Lester was pitching with the Cubs, and they said, well, we can't let this happen. But they were trying to do whatever they could so that Duster didn't have to field the ball and throw it.
And you know what's interesting about that, guys? When you think about it, they have forcibly made a defender utilize a glove denoting his position.
That's right.
So that very well could lead to forcing a player to start out at a certain position pre-pitch, therefore affecting the shift as we know it.
Right center. It's going to stay in the ballpark. That's Laureano who gets over there, so Trout is retired. It's so fun to watch Chris Davis hit and Mike Trout because they have that ability to not just hit the ball the other way, but to drive the ball the other way. And not every hitter can do that.
Absolutely.
Even if the pitch is in the middle of the plate, this is such a great swing.
Yeah, there was a time when a certain era of baseball was played that you would see that a lot of that opposite field. You don't see it anymore, except special guys like we just talked about. But Mike Trout, there's no park, and just like Chris Davis. You look at his numbers, and as the guys showed across the board, left, right, left, center, and right, and how equal it is. And if you have a hitter to go center field, opposite field as many times as Chris Davis has. That's really special because really he doesn't have to try to pull the ball. Usually guys get in trouble when they try to pull the ball and they open up too much and end up rolling over on a lot of ground balls or a lot of pitches outside.
Well, he's pulled most of his home runs. But Dallas pitching here, I mean, this ballpark seems like it's pretty fair.
Yes.
Right? It's not.
Yeah, day games, obviously, and I think that's par for the course around the league. Ball will jump a little more, starts to warm up around here. It'll get hot here in Anaheim, no doubt, 100+ at times in the middle of the summer. But for the most part, the park plays pretty fair.
And a decent place to pitch.
No doubt. Good playing surface. One thing I do notice, obviously late in the season here, the outfield is a little chewed up, but again, you got a ton of bodies coming through here, more so during this month than you do in previous months.
They don't even play football here. They used to.
No, and
well, there's no stadiums where they do that anymore, so that's good. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. There's still one kicking around, but you know what's cool too is Mike Trout plays a very specific area out there in center field, and maybe when he's out on defense we can take a look, but he has a patch of sunflower seeds right in front of him that lets you know exactly where Mike Trout plays.
Well, Frank Howard used to play that at old RFK Stadium, and the grass was dead. It was time to raw dirt where he played.
280 pounds.
That's right.
Standing in one spot for 9 innings.
Well, he just went back and forth. You know, he just never could stand still, and you know, so he created this patch of just nothing but dirt. This time it looked like he was maybe trying to shoot the ball because of the shift to the right side, or protecting on a pitch that he wasn't expecting. Now this is a stadium back before they disallowed. Some of the guys were walking into the bullpen and they saw some golf tees planted in the outfield.
Yeah, that's right. Not anymore. Can't do that anymore. Ohtani's retired. So Liam Hendricks gives up a hit, nothing else. 2-0 A's.
And push. Get A's home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcast, the MLB TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Top of the second inning, 2-0 the A's lead. Chris Davis with his 48th home run of the year in the first. Did you see those T-shirts right there? Those ladies had Chappie.
Chappie. Chappie on the front, Chapman on the back.
Came up north a little bit, they would sell quickly. Chappie. Dallas, you're a T-shirt maker. We could go Chappy, or we could start something like Captain America, which I know we've kicked around for a while.
We have, and I've also dabbled with the idea of putting a big stick of chapstick in his hand while at the plate. Chapstick, you know? Big double entendre guy.
You are quite the entrepreneur, my friend. I like it.
I tell you, this team's got a cast full of characters that I think the fans have done a great job of rallying around and rallying behind. Something the Oakland fans have been very, very good at and are very well known for.
Well, I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm excited about the wild card game. Obviously, it's going to be super fun, but drill toward Trout, and we want the A's to win. But I think what would be so cool is to have the A's fans get a playoff game at home, which you would get games 3 and 4 of the division series, which would be, I'm guessing now, I think a week from Monday and Tuesday. Does that sound right?
Friday, Saturday, off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah.
And let's hope that happens.
Yeah, and that would be probably 5:20 West Coast time for prime time back on the East Coast, and I could see Mount Davis.
Yeah, Coliseum's quite a place.
That's right. Loud. I mean, we heard it loud in the first 2 decks against the Tigers, with the upper deck and Mount Davis tarped, but open those up, it could really get loud.
So a little work to do before that happens, but certainly a possibility.
Now the big game is Wednesday. That's right now what the A's are looking at, because how about that?
Right down the right field line for Chad Pinder. Calhoun actually shaded over that way a little bit, so he gets to it quickly. A 1-out single. Season series between the 2 teams that'll square off in the wild card, 3-3. Each team won 2 out of 3 in their home ballpark. A's scored more runs. Yankees hit more home runs. Batting averages, starters ERA. So the A's knocked around the starters a little bit. Both bullpens are very good. I mean, that's going to be, I think, the story in that one game.
That's right.
So should be fun. Runner goes, throw to second base. Got him. Urshano, he throw that from his knees,
Yes,
right?
he did. Yes, he did. And a perfect throw with a lot on it. Yeah, he pinned a pretty good jump. Urshano just said, okay, I'll just get it down there. And he got it down there very quickly for Caleb Coward to make the catch, the tag, straddle the bag, and Chad Pinder with the head first slide. Evidently a straight steal is Jonathan Lucroy, unless there was a missed sign, but that's pretty impressive. Benito Santiago was one of the first, if not the first, to do that from his knees. Sandy Alomar Jr. did it quite successfully.
Benito Santiago was funny because he could do it, but if he did not think he had a chance to throw somebody out, he wouldn't even throw it. He would just hold on to the ball. It's like, wait, you didn't throw.
You can't make it air that way.
He just was like, I didn't think I had a shot. I'm not going to throw.
Tell you a funny story. I show up in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico to play winter ball, and we're out there game 1 against Ponce. And who is back there in the squat? None other than Benito Santiago, all 40+ years of age back there, still hosing runners down from his knees, wearing a couple 3 or 4 carat earrings in each lobe. Just looking good and feeling good.
Trevor Cahill's ready to roll. Hard hit ball. Fernandez has it. Lucroy's retired. And that will do it for the A's. Trevor Cahill coming in. Bottom of the second coming up.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Two 0 A's lead, bottom of the second inning, and when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. As we predicted, Trevor Cahill comes in here in the second inning, so obviously not a start for Trevor Cahill, but the A's will hand the ball over to Cahill with the thought of get us 4 innings if you can.
Okay, Upton through Ohtani, Upton to Ohtani, and he gone. I mean, if it's twice through the batting order, we shall see.
Upton, Simmons, and Ward here in the second inning. And the first pitch is popped up a little bit behind short. Simeon's there.
Well, at least the one thing about Trevor Cahill, he has pitched down a bullpen. So it's not like this is total unfamiliarity for him. I think in case of Fires last night, it was a little bit different for him. But for Trevor Cahill, last 5, of course, he's had some injury issues. I think he's just happy to be participating in this this postseason for the Athletics and to be able to play as well as he has.
And Trevor Cahill pitched out of the bullpen in 2016 for the Chicago Cubs.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure they won the World Series that year.
Yes,
Did
they
they not?
did.
Simeon's got this one. He throws across. Well, here's his numbers from that season. 4-4 with a 2.74 ERA, pitched in 50 games, so he was really good out of the bullpen. And like he said, he's got himself a World Series ring.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Exactly right.
There's no doubt he's excited about what he's been able to do for the Oakland A's thus far. You get that phone call early in the year, not exactly sure where your career is headed. Get the opportunity to come back where it all started, maybe under a little different pretense, but nonetheless you find yourself smack dab in the middle of the rotation, headed to the postseason.
How about being in Arizona, knowing that spring training has started, and you hear all these games and all these pitchers, and you're sitting at home looking for a job. And all of a sudden, grab a catcher's mitt, let's go. And worked out well, I think, for Trevor Cahill and especially for the Athletics to get a bona fide major league starter with the experience that he has had throughout his career. And Dallas said originally, I mean, he signed a long-term contract with the A's after winning 18 games in 5 months. Still a young pitcher.
2-2 the count to Taylor Ward. Big chopper right into the Angels dugout.
There's that changeup from Cahill, trying to work that pitch away. He's got good arm side movement on this pitch, moving laterally back towards the right-handed hitter. If that's the case, I'd like to see him start that a little farther away.
Marcana is there, and that's a good inning for Trevor Cahill. Third inning coming up.
California is brought to you by TriNet. Experience incredible HR today.
So 2-0, the A's lead the Angels. Beautiful Southern California. Well, we come here 3 times every year, and not a bad place to stop.
Not at all. Never have to worry about bad weather.
No, that's true. You're not going to get rain. Hotel is nice and close to the ballpark. Laureano to left center, hit pretty well. Upton going back, and it's over his head. And Laureano digging for second. He's got a stand-up double to lead things off here in the third.
No waiting around for the laser. Talked about him at the top of the lineup. Can be patient at times. Aggressive as well. Calculated aggression. Hustles on into second with a double. Ball struck well over the head of Upton. You can see out of the box. Didn't think he got it all. Thought he had a shot at a homer. You're gonna like that, huh? You think you just miss it, end up on second, no big deal.
So here's Chapman.
And one thing we've seen is Justin Upton is playing shallow. He does not have a particularly strong arm, and maybe that's the reason he does it. But a couple of times he's been there for the Athletics against the A's, has been burnt, and that time maybe not able to go back on the ball as well as the center fielder Mike Trout, who did it on Jed Lowry's.
Chapman does his job. He probably would have rather picked up an RBI, but it is a productive out as he gets Laureano over to third.
I think this is great, especially going to postseason. You look at that's nice company. Season with 100 runs, 40 doubles, 20 home runs. Al Simmons is there quite a bit. But Matt Chapman, at that 2018.
Well, he got his 100th run scored in the first inning. I'll tell you what, that's a lot.
Yes, it is. I mean,
that's a significant yearly milestone if you can get to 100 runs. Dallas, you agree?
Totally. Run scoring opportunities matter. And I know
this should be an RBI for Jed Lowry. Calhoun's got a good arm. Here comes Laureano, and the throw is way offline. RBI sacrifice fly for Lowry, and it's 3-0 A's. And well, that's a good sequence right there.
That's what you need going to postseason. Just thinking about what Chapman did. Unselfishly gave himself up with a ground ball to the right side, and should have been nice for a base hit, but he got the job done after Laureano doubled. So really in the matter of 3 pitches, a ground ball to the right side, and Jed Lowry with RBI number 98 with an opposite field fly ball. Closed himself off, no ground ball, fly ball, even with a very strong arm. Laureano's speed, no chance to get it.
You know, we've been obviously digging very, very deep into the wild card game, and why not? It's a winner take all, right? That one's hit pretty well to right center field. We'll get back to that after this. So a run for the A's on Lowry's sacrifice fly, and it's 3-0 Athletics. Customers say, show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Nice look outside the Big A. A's leading 3-0, bottom of the third. Trevor Cahill had a nice quick second inning. He'll face Cowart, Urshano, and then the top of the order, Colt Calhoun. Up the middle. That's Lowry playing right there. He throws in time. So 1 pitch and 1 out.
Trevor Cahill had the ball go through right through his legs, and I'd be thinking there's a base hit, but hey, turn around and see where your second baseman playing.
Here's Jose Urshano. Now I started a thought before we went to break, and I wanted to ask both Ray, you and Dallas about what the A's did in the top of the third, where they got a run and a hit, manufactured a run. In a game like Wednesday night, where you're probably going to end up facing a whole bunch of relievers, Yankees have a terrific bullpen. You start thinking about from the 5th inning on, when you're going to see a very good reliever probably each inning, just like the Yankees will see a good reliever from the A's every inning. It's hard to get 3 hits in an inning off a really good reliever.
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult to do. It's hard to get 3 hits off any pitcher, let alone a really, really good reliever. And that to me is where being able to get a run on 1 hit where you execute properly, I think it's very, very important, because if you sit and wait for a home run in the postseason, it may happen, but I think the quality of relievers you will see, and that's the way that game is going to be played, I think that comes into play a lot.
Well, they always say lead off double, get him over, get him in.
Yeah.
And the A's did that perfectly, and you have to do that, especially in postseason. And, you know, I was talking to Mike Socha today, and the one thing that he did, they're highlighting his career as a member of the Angels going back to 2002, but the thing that he did in 2002, he had the guys get hit the home runs, but he also had a lot of guys first to third. They bunted. They did a lot of things to play small ball, and I think that was his National League mentality coming over to the American League at the beginning of his managerial career, that it helped them, the Angels, win the World Championship. But if you're playing postseason, typically you're playing the best teams, the best pitchers, the best defense.
Yeah.
And the little things are going to be, I mean, if you have pitching and defense, it's going to help you win. And then manufacture runs the way the A's did in the top of the inning, that's what you have to do. 5 pitches. 5 pitches were thrown. The A's got to run.
Yeah, you think about Zach Britton and Betances and Chapman. I mean, are you going to string together 3-4 hits against those guys?
That's
Probably not.
Yeah, that's a bunch.
So you better be able to do a lot with the 1 or maybe 2 hits that you do get.
Well, the idea is you have to capitalize, you have to execute. And as Foss said, leadoff double, get him over, get him in. Before the first pitch or before that leadoff double happens, you've got to get him on and get him over, get him in. So the idea of giving yourself up early on in the game in an effort to execute, that is what you have to take away from.
Simeon charges, flips to first, and Trevor Cahill, another quick inning. 6 up, 6 down for Cahill. 4th inning coming up.
One way to be first in line for postseason tickets. Grab an A's Access membership and begin enjoying your discounts at the ballpark immediately. That's right. Join today and get all the perks for postseason, including 50% off concessions, $4 domestic drafts, 25% off merchandise, and $10 parking passes. Learn more at athletics.com/2019 today. A's Access, every game your way. And that's important, your way. A's Access. A trend that is happening across baseball, starting with the Athletics.
First pitch to Piscotty here in the top of the fourth is hit foul down the third baseline.
Well, and you know, Foss, I think it's become very eclair to the front office that they need to reach out to the. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say eclair?
Thank
Foss?
you. Oh, come on, man. Those are supposed to be for us.
Hey, Dallas, by the way, that eclair that you gave me earlier today, thank you.
What?
It was super good.
Come on, man. What are you talking about?
Man, it was
And
like
Delaire got one, and Tommy and Hoodie.
You know what? It brought
everybody
back,
but me.
It brought back good. Thanks a
I'm
lot.
all out, Foss. I'm sorry. I'm all.
Well, listen, send those up here, man, because Peggy and Lindsay, you promised us.
I think I've got one or two left for you.
Thank you very much. It's about time. It's only game 161. So, tells you great, your wonderful grandmother that where has she been all season? She comes up, so celebrate your perfect game and all that. Sit down there, and you had the big umbrella, but no eclair, nothing for us.
Dallas. I'd have another one. I'm a little full right now. So thank you though. The two that I had were really delicious. Delicious.
Foss, you know I got love for my battery, mate, buddy. I got one on its way to you, my brother.
Well, I hope so, and I'll make sure that I do consume it.
Let's get a clock. You're going to do it under 10 seconds, aren't you?
Yeah?
Good for you. Good for you.
Already got Victor and Gooby looking over here like wondering. They must have seen our monitor and saw all those eclairs.
We're having too much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, where are they? Come on, Mike. Mike's bringing notes. Bring eclairs, Mike. Come on now.
Yeah, Mike, our fine stat man, just brought me a note, and I'm thinking it's going to say, eclairs are on the way, be here in 2 minutes. Yeah. Instead, it said 11 straight strikes for Trevor Cahill. So I guess he really is doing his job. But I'm a little distracted.
Boy, a little. Of course, this was the place that Bartolo Colon had about 38 consecutive strikes. You know, so. Well, Bartolo could eat 38 eclairs.
Oh, that hurt.
Did you see his tattoo? Hey, he works out hard, man.
Don't try to change the subject, Ray. You just.
I was saying,
man.
Listen, I saw Bartolo when he first signed. He weighed 148 pounds. I think he has looked past that a long time ago.
That one hurt.
He has. I affectionately dubbed him the round mound of hanging around.
That's right.
I tell you what, you put a fastball where you want, and you can.
That's right.
You can live a while.
The round mound of pumping strikes.
That's right.
One of our favorites.
Well, you know, Julio Franco played till he's old enough to collect his pension, so why not Bartolo? You know, he could pitch that long. Somebody gives him an opportunity. And proof that if you could throw one pitch and make it do different things, one pitch, you can have
into
success.
4 pitches.
That's right. And have the fun that he has.
Another foul ball. Canada putting on a good battle here against Tyler Skaggs.
Well, I'm glad we have Mike up here counting all of Trevor Cahill's consecutive strikes, because when the eclairs come up, we're not going to pay much. Well, somebody's not going to pay attention. Since you've already had 2, you're not going to get any.
Yeah, well, 2 today. A couple yesterday. Dallas gave me.
Man, Dallas, I thought we were tight, man.
Don't let him do that to you, Foss. Don't let him do that to you.
Hey, whenever they get up here, I'll make sure.
Well, I just think it's great that your grandmother is still mailing the eclairs to me, and I really appreciate that. And she's promised, and she get that nice care package.
Tell us, how is Peggy Lindsay doing?
She's doing amazing, Foss. Thank you for asking. She's doing great. Tuned in right now, I'm sure. She was very excited to be able to make these eclairs for you guys. You know that's something she enjoys doing.
Take him 161. You know, I mean, it's not like this is April the 14th or something. This is September the 29th. Come on. I mean, she could have, you know, in honor of your perfect game, she could have brought some. I mean, that's back in May.
Yeah, she.
And you're still eating them, aren't you? You're not sending any up here. I could tell when you start smacking your lips.
Wiping off his beard. Canna, one in at bat. And he's going to line one to left, and he's going to end up with a double. So a 9-pitch at bat comes to a conclusion with the double for Canna. Nicely done.
Well, we saw the 11-pitch at bat in Oakland, and he made an out, and he can work a pitcher. He does it here against the left-hander, and Mike Scioscia might have seen his lefty because of the at bat by Mark Canna. See his pitch count. And Dallas, see, I took over so you could finish eating your eclair. So, you know.
Much appreciated, boss.
Mark Canna loves lefties, and Tyler Skaggs is going to finish for the night at his season. And the Angels have to be looking forward to his health in 2019.
So 3 1/3 innings tonight for the Angels starter, and he leaves trailing the Athletics 3-0. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So the A's with a runner at second, one out here in the 4th inning. Noe Ramirez comes in, the right-hander. So Tyler Skaggs done for the night. 62 pitches. The Angels being careful with Skaggs. They need him. They have a good offseason and be ready to go next year.
They just need to have some healthy pitchers, especially starters. The bullpen has been worked hard this year. A lot of innings out of the bullpen. See the numbers for Noe Ramirez on the season.
Been busy. 69th appearance.
81 2/3 innings. So some multi-inning outings in there, no doubt.
Well, Ramirez had an opener earlier this year. He did it against the Colorado Rockies on the 28th of August. So he knows what it's like. But his was pretty unique, Ray. He became the first pitcher in Angels history to record a save one night. And the very next game, start. So it was a busy 2 days for him.
You know, something I think about as this idea continues to trend.
Oh, big time.
Is how you've is how you've labeled the individual who is starting or opening the ball game, much like we've labeled the guys we've tabbed to close the ball game, and the role that they have filled or the role that established for a pitcher on a pitching staff or in a bullpen. You wonder moving forward if somebody can be identified or tabbed as an opener. Maybe an individual, because we've seen guys close both games of a doubleheader. Could it be an instance of an individual utilized to open 2 games of a doubleheader, or 2 out of 3 of a series?
Or pitch 3 days in a row.
Exactly.
Right?
You just never know.
Yeah.
Well, Stanek was supposed to do that in St. Pete when the A's were there for the weekend to play the Rays.
All 3?
Yeah.
Left field. Upton on the run. Makes a nice play.
Yeah, they had him planned to be an opener for one, the second inning for another, and the 8th inning for another.
Yeah.
He didn't pitch the final game because the Rays had a big lead. But this line drive hit hard by Simeon. Not surprising with 2 strikes to have the quality at bat that he did. Just did not hook enough. Remember, the outfielders, especially Upton, plays way off the line. So anything hooked down the line, you at least have 2 or maybe 3.
So 2 outs, and Chad Pinder is the hitter.
But you know, the really interesting thing I think about these openers is the case tonight. Skaggs, the starter, can get the loss. Liam Hendricks, the opener, can't get the win. And the A's have the lead. And that's something that I think if you look at Yarborough with the Rays, he seems to be the example. He has, what, 14, 15 wins and not that many starts. Coming into the 2nd inning, 3rd inning maybe.
Chop towards short. Simmons has it. His throw across the diamond is in time, and going down is Mark Hanna. He fell rounding 3rd. Let's hope he's okay.
Take a look at what Mark Hanna had going on here. At the end of the inning, catches the corner of that bag and loses his footing. Goes into a mini death roll here. But everything's all right on the backside. The big Marine, Matt Williams, will lend him a helping hand, and all is right. But tell you what, you got to hold your breath. You see something like that happen. And we've seen that a few times in recent history with the bags. Go back to the Bryce Harper injury, slipping on top of the bag. And I understand you don't want to hit the very top of the bag. You're supposed to aim for the front of the bag, but things happen in the heat of athletic moments. But I think it's something that we have to pay attention to. You hate to see guys go down just running the bases.
Yeah. Especially pitchers.
Yeah.
Well, pitchers have to get from home to first without pulling a hamstring.
Yeah, American League pitchers, but how about one that pulls both at the same time?
Exactly. First base is a long ways away. Hit pretty well, but Laureano has room, and he makes the catch. Jose Fernandez is out number 1, and that'll bring up Mike Trout.
I think the highlight of this year is watching Blake trying to catch a fly ball.
That's right.
You know, pop up on the infield. I got it.
Head it all the way. Get out of the way.
Well, this is Mike Trout at his best, and this is what he can do so well, as we talked about earlier, going opposite field. I mean, you have two of the premier opposite field home run hitters in the lineup tonight. Mike Trout for the Angels and Chris Davis for the Athletics. One with 39, Trout, and KD is hit number 48. I think of Mike Trout of being kind of in the Derek Jeter category when he was first started playing, and went to arbitration and said, well, you don't hit enough home runs. Mm-hmm. So what he died 25 or 30. So, okay, what are you going to do about that? Well, Mike Trout supposedly couldn't play center field, but he has become a better outfielder. And if he can do that and his throwing has improved, he could be the consummate five-tool player that, I mean, we know what he can do with power, with average, with speed. Throw in the outfield, which he's very capable.
Well, what you love to see from a guy like Mike Trout is somebody who could easily rest on the successes he's had at the plate and call it a day. Yeah. But he challenges himself to be as good as he could possibly be, better than he was last year, better than he was last month, or even the last at bat. Yeah. And when you've got those kind of tools, and you're telling yourself, I'm going to challenge myself to be even better than that's scary, because that's intrinsic motivation. That's coming from nowhere else other than inside, to have the desire to be the best.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at the numbers for him, and I think he could be a perennial 40-40 player. Yeah. But they're going to shut him down, stealing bases, because they don't want him to get hurt, which is understandable. And between the bunt and the stolen base, it's kind of a lost art anyway.
Well, he strikes out there.
Mike Scioscia is talking to him today. A note that I thought was rather interesting, as Mike Trout strikes out on a pretty good breaking ball from Trevor Cahill. Mike Trout did something in his first major league, oh, good changeup. Did his first major league bat, he got a base hit on a sacrifice. His first major league hit. But Mike Scioscia said you never see him bunt again. But why would he when he can drive in himself? But that just goes to show you what the talent the young man has. Meanwhile, the talent is showing in Trevor Cahill.
Ohtani had 3 hits last night. One was an infield hit, so he showed off his speed.
But he's got a lot of movement in the batter's box, and the A's now shifting with the 2 strikes, sending Simeon over in shallow right field.
Lines this one to left. So another good inning for Trevor Cahill. Trevor's rolling along. 3-0 A's. We'll have you covered with Oktoberquest on NBC Sports California. Brody, Stu, and Dallas with the coverage. Special guests all postseason long. The most comprehensive coverage of the green and gold right here during the month of October. Well, let's hope that there's a whole host of Oktoberquest shows, not just one.
Right.
On Wednesday, they're going to do the show from the treehouse. Treehouse will be open. Go watch the game.
That's great. Maybe they can have their own roll call out there. Like the Yankees right field. We'll be having a right roll call.
A little bit inside, so 2-0 the count to Jonathan Lucroy here in the top of the 5th inning. He's with a 3-0 lead. 2 in the first on Chris Davis home run. And then a Jed Lowry sacrifice fly in the 3rd for the 3 runs. Lucroy, high and foul down the right field line. A busy day around baseball. We can work our way through that. The Dodgers beat the Giants 10-6. The Dodgers clinched a postseason berth. So they will head to the postseason for the 6th time. Simmons, he's going to get to it. His throw to first not in time. Too much speed by Jonathan Lucroy.
Throw the bat at the ball and run like heck. And that's what Jonathan Lucroy did. Smell a hit, you got to run hard. I tell you though, the magician at shortstop, he just goes down to get it, Jonathan Lucroy, but he's running out of the box. And Simmons, a great play, got a little bit extra on the throw. We saw him last night just throw kind of a lob toss over and got it, but not this time with Jonathan Lucroy. But look at Luke go. Go, Luke, go.
You can smell it.
That's right. Time you get an infield hit in your catcher, that's like 2 hits.
You should get a little extra,
right.
especially in September. An infield hit by a catcher in September
right.
should be 2 hits.
Absolutely.
Laureano takes a strike. So the Dodgers won today, Ray. So right now, the Dodgers are a half game behind the Rockies, right? Rockies are playing and they are losing to the Washington Nationals in Colorado 6-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, it is bottom of the 6th right now. You mentioned it, 6-2. They've got a runner on second base, Ian Desmond at the dish. Strasburg still in the game, right at the century mark for pitch count.
So and there's still time there and anything happens at Coors Field, but if the Rockies lose that game, the Rockies and the Dodgers will go into tomorrow tied for first place. They're both in the postseason, tied for first place tomorrow.
And wouldn't it be great if they're tied after tomorrow? And they'd have to play Monday?
That's more baseball, Foss. I'm into it.
Right.
Yeah, they would play Monday at Dodger Stadium, so both teams would have to travel.
How about
Dodgers would have to go back home. Rockies would have to go to L.A.
How about the Brewers and Cubs?
Well, the Cubs lost today. That was an early game. They lost to the Cardinals 2-1, and right now the Brewers are winning 6-5 in the bottom of the 8th in Milwaukee. So if that score holds, the Cubs and the Brewers would be tied.
And I hope they're tied after tomorrow.
Going into tomorrow. And if they are, Ray, Wrigley Field on Monday. So that's fun stuff.
Oh, it's great.
So the National League is set. The St. Louis Cardinals are out.
Right.
When the Dodgers won their game today, the Cardinals are out. So the teams are set in the National League, but nobody knows the who, what, or the where.
That's right. And you have to play a game 163 for the division winner.
And in fact, of the 5 teams in the National League right now, they're in Braves, Cubs, Brewers, Rockies, Dodgers. None of them are set in any seed. It's all open.
Wide open. Huh.
Whoever wins the National League Central will have the best record.
Okay.
But we don't know who's going to win it.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, what's great about tomorrow is all games starting at the same time. Oh, that's the beauty of that.
Laureano strikes out.
So battle.
Go ahead, Dallas.
Noe Ramirez comes back in with that changeup. Down, very presentable pitch. And I think what he benefits from here is location. This pitch is height-wise, it's tantalizing, but location as far as central, that thing is middle down. It's that variation of speed catches Laureano out front.
So 1 away for Matt Chapman.
You know, it's been a great 2 innings, but I still haven't seen an E-clip. I mean, it's been really, really good baseball.
He's such a tease, isn't he, Dallas Braden?
Jeez, I mean, I'm looking back here. Mike's here.
Mike's eating them.
No, he's not. I look back there. They're not there. Mike wouldn't be that way.
Toward third, out at second, on to first, and that's a double play. So Chapman hits into the double play. A's do not score. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
Your single game tickets to potential American League Division Series home games. Just visit athletics.com/postseason to get started. Plus, if you join A's Access, you can save at least 20% on ALCS and World Series seats and lock in your strip of tickets throughout the entire postseason. Our team is standing by and ready to help. That's right. Visit athletics.com/postseason today to get started. And we encourage you to do that.
So 3-0, it's the bottom of the 5th inning.
You know what I think, guys, is the fact that all around baseball and maybe even worldwide, the Oakland Athletics are getting a lot of attention. And that's kind of neat.
I would agree with that.
You know, and, I mean, everybody you talk to, and the Yankees are good, but boy, people are saying, boy, I hope you beat the Yankees. You know, I mean, it's going to be a fun game on Wednesday, but just the fact that this team is being noticed by a lot of people. It's pretty special.
And I think there came a time in the summer where you couldn't not notice them anymore.
Yeah.
They just kept playing well.
And it was against this Angels team. And if you think of what happened last time the Angels were at the Coliseum, it was Skaggs pitching, and the Angels won 9-7, but then the A's blew them out the next 2 games. That happened back June the 16th, the same way. They won Friday night, the Angels did. The A's won the next 2. And next thing you know, here we are sitting in the next to last day of the season, 29th of September. A's going to postseason and lost last night, trying to win tonight, and definitely will try to win again tomorrow to carry the momentum into the postseason.
Well, you know, I think the A's represent something that every fan across the landscape can really get on board with, which is an underdog story from the very beginning. Not much by the way of expectation surrounding the club at the onset of the season. But as we have bared witness to, it's been a club that has just gotten better together day in and day out. And as you pointed out, at some point in time, you have to pay attention to these guys now.
Yeah, that's right.
They're affecting wild card races. There was obviously a strong push for a while towards the division, and at that point in time is when you really take notice. This club is not going away, and furthermore, they're here to make an impact. To heck with not going away, they're here for real.
2-2 now to Andrelton Simmons. He's made some changes, which we'll get to those changes in just a moment. That is Pinder, whose throw is a little high, gets past Cannon. So Pinder just moving over to third. He's going to be charged with an error.
Well, it went from first base where he had never started the game, and tonight he immediately moves over to third, got under it just a little bit, and under it elevated the throw instead of over the top, which he has a very strong arm. Maybe because he had to change gloves.
Yep.
So they can't.
So Simmons is aboard on the E5. First pitch to Ward. Touch low. Matt Joyce is in left field. So Joyce in left. Pinder to third. Canada first. Chapman is the player that's out of the game. So that would put Matt Joyce in Chapman's spot. Taylor Ward's first at bat came against Trevor Cahill, and he had a fly ball to left field. Runner goes. Lucroy's throw, not in time. Tough pitch to throw on, as Lucroy had a backhand. He really did not have a whole lot of a chance there.
Well, Mike Scioscia is being highlighted tonight, and this is Mike Scioscia managing at his best. But you're right, down and away, but in the top of your screen you can watch Ramon Laureano charging as this ball is thrown on a hop, taken by. Watch Laureano on the top of your screen come running in. That is so great. He does that all the time. He doesn't stand still until the ball comes to him. He goes if the ball is rolling. And it's just simply a matter of 90 feet. You can take away 90 feet by backing up. And, you know, in this case, if that ball had gone to center field and Laureano's not backing up and Simmons could have gone to third, infield would play back. That would have been a cheap run. Just put the ball in play. That's one thing Cahill has not been able to do a very good job of, and that's hold base runners.
And the pitch is outside, so an error and a walk with one out. So Trevor Cahill had retired the first 10 that he faced. But now he's going to have to work out of a jam as Caleb Coward will hit. Howard grounded out in his first at bat.
Well, we've seen Cahill go to the changeup tonight, and here against Coward, if he's going to get him out with that changeup, want to see him keep that pitch down.
Yeah, trying to get him to roll over.
That's it. He's kind of been up with that pitch. If he can get it down and away, get Coward to try to roll that thing over, like you said, Foss.
Goes after the first pitch, pops it foul. Oh, 0-1 to Caleb Cowart. Simmons and Ward, good speed.
You see Andrelton Simmons and Marcus Semien right now having a conversation at second base. Simmons sort of fake broke like he was going to go over to third. Didn't get a reaction from Chad Pinder, and has kind of been jockeying around since.
Now 1-2, so Cahill needs to get one of his best sinkers.
Yeah. Well, and kind of keep Coward from getting under it and lifting it like he did in Oakland, but that was more of a good velocity fastball from Lou Trevino that really didn't do anything. No sinking action to it at all. He did get under for the grand slam.
And the 1-2 pitch, a breaking ball that stays outside. Jose Briceño, the catcher, is the on-deck hitter. Left center field, that's going to get down for a hit. Simmons will score. Ward is going to try for third, and he's going to be out by a bunch.
Haven't they learned?
Apparently not.
Haven't they learned? They have not. Especially the Angels. That's a big, big out. Wow.
Well, Laureano was tracking this ball the entire way. And you can see Simmons, he gets a read. He's going to break. He'll end up scoring, but Laureano very easily, one hop, strong throw. And this throw beats Ward to third by about a month.
But you think what he did, Laureano did in Houston when he threw out Springer. That could have been second and third, nobody out. This could have been second and third, nobody out. Instead, a runner at second, just like it was in Houston. And he's made those type of plays this year when they have tried to run on him.
So another big defensive play by Laureano, his 9th outfield assist, most among AL center fielders.
But you know, he got to that ball quickly and he short-armed it. He didn't even take the big windup. He didn't need it because he wanted to get rid of it quickly and he wanted to make it an accurate throw, and he did both. Meanwhile, an error started this whole thing.
Yep.
You're right. Error, walk, base hit.
So Cahill just trying to limit the damage to the 1. You know, Briceño struck out in the 3rd.
There are times when we see an outfielder throw, in this case to third base, as Laureano did, and it turns out to be a bad throw. You want to keep the double play in order, but Laureano's different because he can make those throws, and his accuracy and his arm strength probably top of the list. I mean, he knows how to throw and make an accurate throw on top of it.
And that hit Briceño. Another pitch running in. The first pitch to him a little bit up and in. This time he's hit by the pitch.
Well, he's a little bit upset. Nobody likes to get hit, unintentional, of course. And on the right arm, the back arm for him. Scott Emerson's going to visit with his pitcher and maybe try to convince him that this inning could have started with just a ground ball out. Maybe the walk doesn't occur. Maybe the base hit to left field doesn't occur. But pitchers have to learn how to get through trouble when they do occur, like an error.
It has been a strange inning. Sean Kelly starting to throw. It's gone after 1 out. Air, walk, single, hit by pitch.
Yep.
So now to the top of the order in Cole Calhoun. Calhoun, a fly ball to left, a grounder to second. Calhoun takes that changeup and it a little bit low. Pretty good pitch by Cahill.
Catches the corner and the bottom.
Calhoun, 19 home runs. Had a up and down season has Cole Calhoun. A couple of hits last night. He got off to a very slow start, then got hot and has cooled off late in the season.
You change your batting stance midstream, mid-season. That's pretty special. I mean, it may work, but over the course of a season, it's almost something that you need to work on in the offseason going through spring training.
Rolls over on this one. That's Marcus Semien. So Cahill gives up just the 1 run. It's an unearned run. 3-1 A's after 5.
Brought to you by T-Mobile for the Athletics. How about Chris Davis, first inning with a couple of outs after a 1-out walk. Opposite field home run for KD, number 48 on the season. RBI's number 122 and 23 for Chris Davis as the A's lead by a score of 3-1. And there you have it. Chris Davis, 46 home runs as a DH. One more, and he will tie and see if he can get a couple of more as a DH and break David Ortiz, Big Papi's record. 2 more, by the way, would get him to the 50 mark. Whew, that would be sweet as the total. And of course, what a season already for Chris Davis, and he's so looking forward to Wednesday postseason. Anybody who's never been there loves its idea of doing it for the first time, I hope for many times. And I think with this ball club, that may be just the beginning.
First pitch to Lowry. He drives one to center. Trout going back, and that baby's gone. Lowry, a booming home run to center field.
Well, how about 99? So 2 tonight. Get it over with. What a season already for Jed Lowry. And just like that, the A's get the run back, the unearned run. And Jed Lowry, Jim Johnson, gone. Right center. Ongoing season high 23 for Jed Lowry, and of course 99 runs batted in.
Well, he saw Jim Johnson come in, and that made him happy.
Jed Lowry sees Jim Johnson in his sleep, apparently.
So there are the numbers for Jim Johnson. 5 wins, couple saves, ERA 3.75.
Hardly had a chance to even introduce him.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. So Johnson comes in. Noe Ramirez with an inning and 2/3. Chris Davis strikes out, so that's the first out here in the top of the 6th. He's leading now 4-1.
They say Jim Johnson, when he's with the Athletics that 1 year, opening night against Cleveland, tie game, came in the 9th inning, lost. And that was the beginning of the end for Jim Johnson. Just kind of never regrouped after that. Fans weren't on his side. And
no, they were not.
No, they were so. Matter of fact, even now, someone will say something. So, well, Jim Johnson came in. He's got some runs. It must have been Johnson. But, you know, that's not very nice to say.
No, that's probably
He's
not
been a
quite.
very good pitcher. And, you know, at the time with the Orioles, a great sinking fastball. But it's that one beginning for the Athletics. Beginning of the end, unfortunately.
Hit hard toward third, but scooped up by Taylor Ward. So 2 outs.
Let's go to StatCap. Check out Jed Lowry doing damage. Exactly a hundo off the bat. 28-degree launch angle. 407 feet away from home plate for a man named Jed.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. 23 homers, 99 RBIs for Jed Lowry. So here's Matt Olson hitting for Canna, so we told you he would get in the game. Jed Lowry, in Oakland history, switch hitters with 20 or more home runs. He's now tops on the list. Step ahead of Coco Crisp. Nick Swisher's on there 3 times.
Jed's just doing everything. He's taking over at the doubles. He's got the most as a switch hitter for home runs. So congratulations. One of his better, if not the best year of his career. All-star, very deserving. Let's go to postseason. By the way, Matt Olson playing game number 161.
Yep.
So
we knew he'd get in, and he is in. 1 and 2 to count. Hitting for Mark Canna.
I'd still say one Cal Ripken Jr.'s record is kind of maybe, you know, it's like 16 consecutive years playing every day. I think it's okay that's probably going to stand.
Oh yeah,
for a long time, if not forever.
So Olson strikes out, and that will do it for the A's, but they get the home run by Jed Lowry. So it's 4-1 Athletics.
the A's and PG&E came together to complete beautification projects and build disaster preparation kits at the Parker Elementary School in Oakland as part of the A's Safe at Home program. Is presented by PG&E. Thank you to PG&E and the volunteers for their help creating a safer environment for the Parker students.
Working hard.
Safe at home. That's great.
So it is the bottom of the 6th inning. Sean Kelly is the new pitcher for the Athletics. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So the A's now with a 4-1 lead. Good job by Trevor Cahill. So Trevor Cahill goes 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. It was an unearned run. He threw 53 pitches. Kelly takes over here in the 6th. Fernandez, Trout, and Ohtani. There's Josh Fegley now behind the plate, and Matt Olson at first base. The Milwaukee Brewers won, Ray, 6-5 over the Tigers.
Oh.
So Cubs, Brewers tied. Cubs will host the Cardinals tomorrow. Brewers will host the Tigers. If they finish tied, that game on Monday will be in Chicago.
And really, that game, if tied, it determines whether it's a 1 game or 5 games.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, because if you're the wild card, it's a 1 game play in. If you're the division winner, it's at least 5.
And the Nationals are leading the Rockies 9-2 in the bottom of the 7th. So if the Rockies lose that game, the Rockies and the Dodgers will be tied going to the final day. And the first pitch to Trout is a strike on the inside corner. So Trout has hit a fly ball to center, and he is struck out.
I think you could put Mike Trout in the highest paid weather meteorologist. You know, he's does quite well, and he loves snowstorms back in New Jersey. Yeah, he loves the bad weather. He's a big football fan. Eagles. Pretty good baseball player. Got 1 more year in his contract after this year. Is that it?
2.
Oh, 2 more. Okay.
Yeah, this is the 4th year of the 6-year deal.
Okay, so 2 more. And I don't believe he's going anywhere regardless. I think he's going to stay right here. I think the Angels are going to make sure that give him one of those contracts that's going to be hard to refuse.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, and if you're the Angels, I think you have to take note of the fact that, and you hate to think this way, but regardless of what happens with Shohei Ohtani on the mound, I think you have a large enough sample size at this point to be excited about what he can offer you at the plate. And you have the opportunity right now, if you're Anaheim, to build around 2 cornerstone players in Ohtani and Trout.
Yeah, and that's not a bad pair to build around.
Not at all, especially when you think about trying to be strong up the middle. You've got Andrelton Simmons at shortstop. You've got Mike Trout out there in center field. They'll figure out the catching situation. The starters can get healthy, but it's not a bad place to start.
Well, in the Angels, they have an owner that's not afraid to spend money.
Yep.
And make trades. And I mean, as we have talked always, this is a great place to play if you like good weather and great attendance. And you're playing in front of a lot of people. 3 million for 16 consecutive. That's a lot of people comes to this park every day, every game that the Angels are here, and even tonight. Sorry, Marino, the owner of the Angels.
Well, there's always that speculation. I mean, Trout is from the Philadelphia area. And he would like to go back to the East Coast, but that's all speculation. You've never heard him say that.
No. Well,
and so really, if you don't hear him say it, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. And to the point of 2 high-priced free agents, Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, the speculation that the Phillies would get both of them this offseason, which, talk about breaking the bank.
Skied to right field. Well, Scotty is waiting. He's got it. So Trout was 0 for 3. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Hey, tomorrow, Greg Papa, Dante Whitner join Jeff Garcia on 49ers pre- and post-game live. 1 hour before and after the Niners face the Chargers this week on NBC Sports Bay Area. Plus, the home of the authentic 49ers fan is NBC Sports Bay Area.
Well, it's the 6th inning. It's a very, very well played game by the Athletics. And that box of eclairs still down.
Nowhere to be found.
We got to talk to somebody about that. They've been en route for 2 innings, fellas.
Oh, well, did you
they
have
ain't
a
gonna
security
make it up
guard
here.
with them? Because you just don't send those up with just anybody. Mike is putting his hands up like he hasn't seen them. And Greggy, you back there, Greggy? Yeah, Dallas.
I'm going to have to talk to the bat boy.
Oh, you went up to bat boy? You had to go through the clubhouse? Oh, forget it. They'll never make it up here now.
Yeah, they ain't getting out of that clubhouse.
And those are such good eclairs. I could use one right now. I've got that sugar requirement.
Sugar, you need a little sugar drop?
Yeah. I mean, water and Cracker Jacks just don't get it. Chocolate eclair, that's the best.
So 2-1 the count to Shohei Ohtani. There's a couple of fly balls to left field.
He's playing a little bit more straight up on the infield. And, of course, his ability to go to the opposite field. See if you get a couple of strikes if Marcus Semien moves over a little bit closer to third base.
And now 3-1. And a strike on the inside corner.
Shohei Ohtani clearly did not agree.
He's on his way to first.
Maybe Shohei hasn't been introduced to Joe West on game 161.
And that's going to be strike 3 call. You can see that coming.
Mr. Ohtani, you're good, but Joe West is the man in charge. And here comes Uncle Charlie, 3-2. Take 2 steps and turn around and watch Joe put up the hands and say, let's go back to the dugout. So front door 2-seamer. He doesn't like that call. That curveball wasn't that bad. He wasn't sitting. He wasn't looking curveball, but very dejected. When in doubt, be nice to Joe.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Upton is 0 for 2. He's popped to short and hit a fly ball to center field. Fernandez still at first. He led off the inning with the walk.
Sean Kelly has been a very good addition to this A's bullpen. Wearing the 31, the number that Liam Hendricks wore when he was here first of all, but taken over by Sean Kelly. And he has played for the Yankees, so he knows what to expect going into Yankee Stadium on Wednesday. And he said, I could not be happier to be on the Oakland Athletics going in for that one play-in game, especially on the big stage in New York. And that was one of the things he said about, you know, as a pitcher, you want to disrupt the timing of a hitter. And he does it so well with nobody on base because he changes his delivery.
Yep.
But even as with a runner on, he can change it. And that's what he said. He said, if I could do it with a runner on base, why not do it with nobody on base? Which, with nobody on, he can do anything he wants to. But if you can disrupt the timing of a hitter, you can have a lot of success.
And you're starting to see guys really give that a try. You understand, as you just pointed out, that is the art of pitching, is disrupting the timing of the hitter at home plate. And regardless of whether or not there's traffic on the base path, if you have the opportunity to play that game within the game and keep that runner over at first base or keep that hitter's timing just off, you're not giving him that mechanism to pick up on.
It is.
Good pitch by Kelly. And Angels do not score, so we are moving to the 7th here in the Big A. 4-1, he's leading. Refreshing finish. June 17th of this year, Jonathan Lucroy walks it off in the 11th inning. He's came back in the 9th to tie it. And that really was when things started to roll for the Athletics. They won on Saturday, they won on Sunday, and then they stayed hot and really have remained hot.
That's one thing that's been recognized all across baseball, is the fact that that time is when the A's took off and they've not looked back.
That's the record. Starting the day before that Lucroy hit, 62 and 28. That is hard to do, I'm telling you folks. First pitch swinging Marcus Semien. Remember, the new pitcher is Deck McGuire. His 21st appearance. So Lucroy gets that hit, right? It's a walk-off. And then the A's went to San Diego. They had an off day on Monday, and then they had a 2-game series against the Padres. And then they went to Chicago.
Yeah. And
I'm convinced that the Piscotty home run in San Diego, in my humble opinion, was the biggest hit of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just, what do we call those? It was a pack your stuff up game. It just didn't think the A's were going to win. I mean, 2 outs, nobody on. Brad Hand is dealing, right? Nasty closer for the Padres.
Well, in the house in that series, you had the American and the National League Relief Pitcher of the Month in Trinan for the A's and Brad Hand for the Padres. And Hand's not even with them anymore.
No, with the Indians.
So, but no, that was one. I mean, one home run that Piscotty hit in Boston. I mean, after he had been to the services for his mother, and then 0-2 fastball, boom. I mean, you just don't see that. I mean, that's storybook. But watch this home run by Stephen Piscotty. 2-2 fastball, gone. I mean, it was a rocket. This was almost the Albert Pujols shot at Houston against the Astros in the playoffs. That one did it. And then Jed Lowry would hit a 2-run home run in the 10th inning. You see all the A's fans standing and cheering. I think that's the first game that the skipper said that he had all the fans from the Bay Area, the A's fans, cheering the Athletics. And Stephen Piscotty started it on that day. The A's went to Chicago. You saw Franklin Barreto sitting next to Piscotty at 2 3-run home runs. That was kind of the time that when Chapman went on the disabled list.
That's right.
And Jed Lowry said, I'll play third, let Barreto play second, which he did, and Pender played second, and the rest is history as far as what they did with Chapman on the disabled list.
So Simeon strikes out. So a little bit more on Stephen Piscotty, our Indeed player resume, and man, what a great season. After really a little bit of a slow start, but 26 homers, 85 RBIs, that's career highs. Doubles, 41, that's a career high number. 77 runs scored, and really has played a very good right field. He's just a really good, solid all-around player.
Well, and you could put all-around good guy too. I mean, he's very quiet, unassuming, but as we've talked about, the skipper said a little bit of fire.
Yeah, there's some fire in there, no question.
I think we saw it last night when Joe West rang him up on a check swing that he didn't swing. Rang him up. I mean, but you know, he's just able to. I mean, and the season that he's had after the first couple of months, that's what's remarkable, because all those great numbers occurred really the last 4 months.
Well, there's always a lot of talk about, you change leagues, and it takes a little while to get used to it, and I think there's something to that.
And that's a good point, because even with interleague play, you're seeing teams from the other league, vice versa, and pitchers. It is different because of different parks, different cities that you're traveling to.
Yeah, it does take a while.
But this one, this is memorable here. I mean, that's 0-2, May 15th. To his mother, Gretchen. I mean, that was special.
Yep.
And he has not forgotten it. I mean, and as he said, he was saying again today that baseball, and a fan had it and realized a week later, said that was a special home run.
And then the fan met us somewhere, right?
Yeah, and Dave Cavill, the A's president, worked it all out, and I mean, it was just a special time to get that baseball back. But he has been, and I think the biggest thing, and yes, in the unfortunate passing of his mother, growing up in the Pleasanton area, the fact that he's a great player, and that's what David Forrest and Billy Beane talked about when they acquired him from the Cardinals, was that he is a player that they had been looking at. It just worked out perfect.
Guys, I think the best part about this entire story is he ain't going anywhere.
No, he's not. Nope.
There you go. Nice long-term contract he signed with the Cardinals. And that's an advantage as well.
Yeah. And that's why I think if you look, and we've talked about this being a special year, and he's going to be playing in New York, and we'll see what happens after that. But start looking at this lineup, the defense, and someone from New York today said the defense of the Athletics has been unbelievable, and it has.
Yep.
You look at the infield, and then you got Piscotty playing right field, Laureano's kind of taking over in center field. But it's been, from a pitcher defensive standpoint, that's how you win a lot of games, and they've been doing it.
So we have reached the 7th inning stretch from Anaheim, with the A's leading it 4-1.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Cresco, your #1 choice for tool and equipment rental with 19 stores to serve you in Northern California.
Well, fans, maybe you've seen them, our 50 life-sized stopper statues throughout the Oakland designed by local artists. Well, now it's your time to own one. That's right. They are for sale, and we will transport them for free to their new homes. Pick out the statue that works for you or your group. Proceeds benefit the Oakland A's Community Fund. Take a look and pick out your stopper at athletics.com/SITT. That's athletics.com/sit. I think Dallas Braden had one of those stompers right in his front yard. I think it's great. They'd transport it right to him.
Yep.
And, you know, they can give him an eclair that we're not getting up here. You know, so I think that would be great.
Giving up all hope of that happening.
Ooh. Well, since you've already had to the last couple of days, you're not. I'm the one that's looking. And I still have seen nothing. Absolutely nothing. I bet Mickey Morbino, who's next to us over here, would love to have a little sugar, considering everything he's going through.
So bottom of the 7th inning, and the new pitcher is Fernando Rodney.
Attention media, here's tonight's paid attendance, 43,762, 43,762.
So Fernando Rodney faces Andrelton Simmons and then Taylor Ward, followed by Caleb Cowart. Simmons is, excuse me, Ray.
I just liked what Sean Kelly did last inning. Walked the first batter, but then ends up getting the next 3 couple with a strikeout. Well, if you're going in and on the big stage, the A's have the back end of the bullpen, and that's why if you can get an early lead, and to your point earlier about the back end, you know, but if you can get the early lead, then you have the weapons. The Yankees have the weapons to finish it off at the end, but getting the early lead is the most important thing.
So Simmons drops a base hit into right field. Leadoff man aboard against Fernando Rodney.
A fastball changeup combination from Fernando Rodney. This two-seamer going inside, but fought it off. Simmons with the base hit to right field. I think Simmons a little proud of his Braves, the former team.
Yep.
If they're going and won the Eastern Division.
Quite a bit of young talent on that team.
Boy.
Congratulations to former teammate Kurt Suzuki.
That's right.
Well, and you know what else too? That staff has, of course, Ron Washington. Also has Walt Weiss.
That's right. Walter. Yeah. Great shortstop. Rookie of the year following Canseco and Big Mac. 3 consecutive rookies of the year.
Will pop up right center. Laureano, a long run still coming in, and he'll get there to make the catch.
And that play right there is something that you're seeing more and more from Laureano. His speed, yes, but taking charge. And that's what a center fielder has to do. You can see him coming in. I got it, I got it. You could read his lips, and Scotty backs off. He backs him up, but that's what you want to see. Especially, I don't care if he's young, veteran or not. You're playing center field, you're the man in charge.
Well, that's a great point, Vice, because see young guys come up all the time trying to make an impact, playing with their hair on fire, but they have that tentative nature about them because they haven't been here. They don't have the time under their belt, the dirt under their cleats, but that's just not the case for Laureano, and you're excited about it.
That one missed badly, and it goes all the way back to the backstop. So Simmons goes to second with 1 out. This is a big-time wild pitch.
You can see this thing just kicks and hits the net with some spin on it, and caroms all the way up the third baseline.
So 1-0 the count to Cowart. Swing and a miss. There's the changeup, 81 miles an hour. That one maybe up a little bit more than Rodney liked, but it's such a deceptive pitch. On deck is Briseño, the catcher. Full shift on for Cowart. Fernando Rodney's last outing up in Seattle, he gave up a couple of walks, a couple of runs in 1 inning. So you got to get him right.
Absolutely. The couple of walks in Denard Span cleared the bases, and that was a big 2-run 8th inning for the Mariners, because the A's had a 3-run lead. It'd been nice to take it to the 9th inning with that same lead, but that did not happen. A's into their 68 consecutive games of leading after 7. But 68-1, not bad going postseason.
No, that's not bad.
Get rid of the 1 right now.
And the 3-1 pitch is low. So 2 on and 1 out. So it's been Hendricks for 1, Cahill for 4, Kelly for 1. And now Fernando Rodney here in the 7th inning. I think we're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Francisco Arcia. And Mike Scioscia's thinking,
Yep, 1 swing.
One thing.
Yep.
Maybe Arcia can get into one. And he had a good swing, 95 miles an hour. Arcia has 6 home runs, 23 RBIs. He's done that in 100 at-bats. Simmons at second, Cowart at first. Outfield straight away. Cued slowly toward third. Pinder throws to second to get the out there. Back to first, not quite in time.
Well, Mike Scioscia's going to wait at second base just to see if the foot was still on the bag. And
big call here.
yes, indeed, a huge call, because they didn't get the runner first. And back across his body and see if the foot stayed on the bag. It looked like he dragged it enough to keep it there, because that's immediately what Mike Scioscia and a couple of guys in the dugout put their hand up.
So fielder's choice. Now the runner's at the corners with 2 outs and back to the top of the order.
But we saw it and have seen it where if you look at it as it happens, you think, no way, he kept his foot on him. Then you look at the replay and you see how he dragged it across.
Yep.
And that's what Jed did. And that's what the replay turns out to be huge for the Athletics.
Well, we can slow things down.
Yes.
Umpires on the field, they can. In New York, they can.
We hope they do. Sometimes you wonder, but that is the whole purpose of the replay system.
Want to know to Cole Calhoun. And now 2-0. You don't want to get any deeper into the lineup after Calhoun. Fernandez is the on-deck hitter. And it would be Trout. 3-0. One hit against Fernando Rodney in his career, and it was a home run. See if he has the green light.
I would say exactly right. That's a great call.
We'll never know. He took it for a strike.
Well, and really that's what the beauty of having a changeup in your back pocket, even on 3-0. It's a good pitch to throw. Because if you can throw it just to put it in the hitter's mind that it can't be overly aggressive on what a lot of pitchers would normally just throw a four-seam fastball 3-0.
And it's high. And Rodney a little frustrated. And now the bases are loaded for Jose Fernandez. So he walked 2 in that outing in Seattle, Ray, and he's walked 2 tonight.
Going to have a pinch runner for Calhoun. It looks no, and it's going to pick up his gear. Now, he runs too well for that. Yeah, even the bat boys look like players. Except he's got the double air flap. You don't see many players except Jed Lowry.
I think a big key right now for Fernando Rodney is he's going to have to throw that changeup for a strike here. The chance Jose Fernandez comes up with the inability to throw strikes right now. Might be waiting until he gets one, but on the off chance, he's sitting dead red first pitch fastball. That is why Fernando Rodney, imperative, he's able to get the off speed over for strikes.
First pitch to Fernandez, down and away. Fernandez, a single, a fly ball to center, and a walk. And that pitch is high, and now it's 2-0.
What you'd like to see is swing and misses on the changeup, but you're not even getting at it because he's falling behind. Maybe a hitter can sit on the fastball, and if he doesn't get it, let it go, and unfortunately, it's not been called a strike.
Missed again. Close pitch. Trout looming in the on-deck circle. Jerry's Familia getting loose quickly. Here it is. And he missed inside. And a run's going to trot home. And Trout is coming up. The score is now 4-2. Well, Fernandez with the bases loaded walk.
Well, the one thing about Fernando Rodney in this situation, and maybe he would not be in the game, and maybe by the time Trout gets in there, that Familia would be loose. But I think the A's realize that Fernando Rodney is an important piece of this puzzle, especially going into the one-game play-in, and he's got to figure it out. Last night, Lou Trevino figured it out in the first inning as the opener. Had a very good first inning of the game.
First pitch to Trout is low. Sherman Johnson is the pinch runner. He's running at first. So Arcia at third, Calhoun at second, Johnson at first. Trout hits one hard but foul. So there's Johnson. He is pinch running for Fernandez.
Well, that was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that Mike Trout was just a little bit quick out in front.
And that one just missed. Rodney wants a strike, and he's not getting it from Joe West.
Best thing to do is not even look at Joe West. Joe West is looking to see if a pitcher's going to react.
Trout hits one very high to right field. Piscotti, he's got room, and he makes the catch. So 1 run for the Angels. It's 4-2 after 7. Running high for the Sharks with a group of returning All-Stars and newly acquired Erik Karlsson. Sharks hockey returns October 5th to NBC Sports, California. So, hockey season will be here before you know it. The Warriors will be rolling before you know it. And what we hope is a deep run into the postseason for the Athletics. 4-2 is the score, top of the 8th inning. Deck McGuire goes back out there. A few changes for the Angels. Arcia stays in the game as the catcher. Sherman Johnson stays in the game at first base. And there's another hit for Laureano. Lines it into left center field, so he's 2 for 4. So a single and a double tonight for Laureano.
Nice off the end of the bat. He'll take it and hustling to first base just to see if something's going to happen in left field, which it doesn't. If something catches it nicely to get it back. I don't know that Laureano's going to want this season to end. I mean, you had fun, you see some success, and
he may be the first one at spring training.
that's right.
It's quite a pad.
Yeah.
The eclairs are ready.
Where? Inside that pad. That mitten.
Of a mitten?
So here's Matt Joyce. First at bat for Matt Joyce. Matt Chapman started the game. He's out. Mark Canha started the game. He's out. And Lucroy started the game, and he is out.
And how about a base hit first and third for Jed Lowry for RBI number 100, and then he'll be out. Jed in the on-deck circle with 99 runs batted in. Sac fly and a solo home run. Anxiously awaiting. Might get the day off tomorrow if he gets the 100th RBI.
I'm just looking to see who is close to anything else. So Matt Olson, 29 home runs. Like to get to 30.
If he doesn't get it tomorrow, or KD, a couple more for 50, Wednesday sounds pretty good. Good time to get him.
Well, that's Cam Bedrosian. He's been warming up for a while. Joyce cues that one down to the far end of the Angels dugout.
Well, we've seen Matt Joyce hit balls to left center. Of course, Upton playing him way over towards the line. Center fielder trout straight up, but a big gap in left center where Matt Joyce, his last 3 hits have gone that direction. Over the shortstop's head into left center, which if that occurs now, it would be a first and third.
Well, at least the leadoff man's on, so Jed may get an opportunity here. How about Ramon Laureano? He came in, Ray, hitting .289. A little bit outside. So maybe we could get Laureano to 300, although he would probably need a couple more hits tomorrow, but 2 for 4 tonight.
Ted Williams hitting 41. Doubleheader. Hey, Ted, if you don't play.
Yeah, he's at 294, so may not be able to get there.
Still a very good season for him, getting a chance to come up and play and still go back to his major league debut in the 8th inning. Sitting on an offer, and the skipper said, "You're going to hit." Scoreless game. He wins it in the 13th.
3-1 pitch outside, and the A's have 2 on and nobody out.
It's going to be a pitching change for Mike Scioscia.
So Bedrosian coming in to face Lowry.
Presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Time now for the Chrysler drive of the game. Jed Lowry with this at bat needed 2 runs batted in for his 100th. This would be number 99 with his 23rd home run. Good night for Jed Lowry. Sac fly and a solo home run. 23rd, 99. So 23 and 100 sounds a lot better. See if that can happen against Cam Bedrosian.
All right, so here's Lowry's opportunity against Cam Bedrosian. 71st appearance for Bedrosian. He's 5-4. 3.86, so a workhorse out of that bullpen for the Angels. And a base hit could get Lowry his 100th RBI. He's with a 4-2 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. First pitch, just a touch low. Lowry, a sacrifice fly in the 3rd, the home run in the 6th. It's that one down the left field line, foul.
You remember this one, Kipe? How about this one down the left field line? Jed Lowry, number 1,000. August the 12th this year. He had a little pump of the fist, and he knew it. Patting a double down the left field line that beautiful afternoon. And Jed Lowry, give me the baseball, please. Maybe he can do it also when he does it now with a hit. That would be great. A round number occurred here at Anaheim. How about another round number of 100?
1-1 pitch is a fastball outside. And also with 37 doubles this year.
You know, Captain, going to be 4 teams, maybe sleepless nights tonight, thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow in the National League. I don't think Jed Lowry needs to have a sleepless night. Just get the 100th ribby tonight.
Well, at least all 4 of those teams know they're in.
They're in, right? But the difference of 1 versus 5.
Yeah.
So that's part of the game. But you're right; they do know they are at least going to be in postseason.
Now there was a rumor that Max Scherzer was going to pitch for the Nationals tomorrow against the Rockies. Now that I have not seen that confirmed. Dallas, have you seen anything on that?
The only thing I've seen is the fact that Max Scherzer said if the Colorado Rockies are in a position to play a game with playoff implications, I am taking the ball.
Huh.
I like it.
Lowry's going to be retired on the bouncer to second, moves the runners up.
Well, he's done something that in the modern era, a lot of pitchers don't even think about. That's 300 strikeouts.
How about that?
Oof.
And he's done something that I think a lot of people would like to do at this point in time, especially the amount of money that's flying around the game, and that's live up to his contract.
Yeah.
And that's not knocking anybody else around the game. I just firmly believe that Max Scherzer is our very first and our finest example of a player living up to one of those huge big money contracts that people kind of had question marks around.
Well, especially when you turn down 160 and decide to sign for 210.
Yeah.
Because people said, how can you turn down 160 with the Tigers, which he did. But it's panned out.
You know how you turn down 160? You get 210.
Get 210 and strike out 300 and win a couple of Cy Youngs. No, but you're right, Dallas, because there are players that will sign big contracts and they don't live up to them until maybe the last year before free agency again. But you know, Mike Trout's lived up to his mega contract, and to your point about Max Scherzer, tell you the game that Scherzer had against the A's in the playoffs when he came in with the bases loaded, nobody out late in the game, and got out of the inning, and of course Tigers went on to win.
0-1 pitch to Chris Davis is a strike. Davis can't believe it. 0-2 the count. Looked like it was a little bit inside.
Well, yeah, you can see KD, the way he takes this pitch. This ball is up and in, borderline at best.
Joe would be a good umpire for tomorrow's game. Game 162. He'd be pulling Leslie Nielsen all afternoon. Steve, like.
Fernando Rodney may not agree with you. 1-2 the count. That one blocked nicely by Arcia.
I think a block like this allows a pitcher to be able to do this, and that's throw the ball in the dirt, knowing that with the runner at third, and he can afford to try to get a hitter to chase a pitch. This catcher's going to do a good job of blocking, which Arcia did.
So Chris Davis, RBI opportunity. Close pitch. Bedrosian wanted it.
Well, similar location laterally to that high fastball up and in.
Oh.
This one just down the bottom of the zone, just off in enough.
Infield in. And Davis just taps it foul right into the Angels dugout. Davis, a 2-run homer in the first. He now has 48 home runs, 123 RBIs. Another bouncer, this one headed down the third baseline. A's have announced that Brett Anderson is going to start the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
He will start. There will be no opener tomorrow. So Brett will get himself ready to.
Yeah, I think the A's wanted to see last night and tonight what two pitchers could do if indeed they decided to go the opener. So like Fires last night, and tonight Trevor Cahill. Both had been starters, true starters all season.
And that one is low. So Cam Bedrosian walks Chris Davis. Pretty good at bat by Davis. And now the bases are loaded for Piscotty.
That is a beautiful AB by KD. A call early that he didn't like, didn't quite go his way. Was able to flush that, put it in the back of his mind, continue to grind it out. And that's a great example of an at-bat you like to see heading into the postseason. That's a great example of a postseason caliber at-bat.
Here's Piscotty, a walk, a strikeout, and a ground out to third for Piscotty. Bedrosian on in relief of Depp McGuire. Stephen Piscotty with the bases loaded this year, 5 for 11, 3 doubles and 12 runs batted in. And now 2-0. So we'll have a meeting at the mound. What can you say if you're the catcher? It's 2-0. The bases are loaded.
If you don't throw a strike, you're going to
keep
it down. If you don't throw a strike, it's going to be 3-0. If
right.
you then don't throw a strike.
Or if you groove one, just trying to throw a strike, it could be a 3-run double, if not more.
And that one's not close.
On the 18th of September, a game in which Tyler Skaggs started the game, it was the 4th inning that Bedrosian came in and started the 4th and walked a couple of batters. But he was not very good then, and so far tonight he's not been very good.
That one in there for a strike. Well, it's strange with Bedrosian. We've seen him now for 3 years, and there's times where he looks really good, and then there's times where he really scuffles. Angels thought he may be the closer of the future, but that has not panned out that way. Piscotty hits one very high to right center. In the ballpark, though, Laureano tags. Laureano's going to hustle in to score. Matt Joyce also tags. He goes to third. Piscotty with a sacrifice fly, and it's 5-2, the A's lead.
Productive outs. We talked about manufacturing runs early on in the ball game. Leadoff base runners, making sure you're hitting behind guys, elevating the ball if you can, and a good job by Stephen Piscotty here. Gets a fastball, something he knows he can get underneath and get out to the outfield with authority. Deep fly ball, runners move up, a productive out.
So give Piscotty his 86th RBI. Here's Matt Olson. Matt Olson came into the game in the 6th inning, and he struck out swinging. Popped him up. Garcia flips the mask, and he hangs on. So that'll do it for the A's. They get a run on the Piscotty sacrifice fly. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 5-2 A's.
California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
All right, game summary for tonight brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 5-7-1 for the A's, 2-3-0 for the Angels. Trevor Cahill followed Liam Hendricks tonight. Cahill was very good, 4 innings after Hendricks had a quiet first inning. Jed Lowry with a couple of RBIs. Chris Davis, a 2-run homer. That was in the very first inning. Lowry has also homered, so 2 more home runs for the A's, and they are trying to get their 97th win of the year. Jerry's Familia comes in here in the 8th inning.
Is that unbelievable or what? I think about 97. People were saying 70 wins at most for the A's in 2018. Yep. 70. We're looking for number 97.
Shohei Ohtani steps up. Swing and a miss. A few changes. Fowler's in left. Joyce is in right. So Piscotty is out. That one's hit very high into the air. And that's going to be Fowler. He gets over there to make the catch. So 1 away. Speaking of home runs, we should give a little shout out to the New York Yankees, who hit a couple of home runs today. And they have set the all-time record for team home runs in a season. 266 they have hit, and that breaks the old record of 264 by the 1997 Mariners.
Speculation when the Yankees acquired Giancarlo Stanton that record would be broken. I mean, you have the American and the National League home run leaders.
And it was.
And Judge in the American League and Stanton in the National League.
Stanton homered today. I think he's got 38. So the Bronx Bombers, indeed. Well, the A's are second, of course, in home runs. They have 225. The A's have 5 players with 20 or more home runs. The Yankees have 6. The A's have 5 players with 30 or more doubles. The Yankees have 2. So it will be the 2 top home run hitting teams, not just in the American League, but in all of baseball in Wednesday's wild card game. And here we are talking about small ball, right?
Yeah. Well, still take it though. And that one game, if you have a leadoff double and you can score him, take that in a heartbeat. I mean, home runs, yes. But the ball the Trout hit was too close for comfort. Because anytime a ball is hit to right field here that's caught, you just automatically think of New York and the way the ball carries to right field there. Like there's a jet stream that shoots balls to right field.
Yeah, jet stream and just a very short wall.
Exactly.
One and 2 the count to Upton, who's 0 for 3. It's up the middle, but charged by Marcus Semien, and that is out there too. A's home runs on the road. Major League history. A's are 3rd. They have hit 134 road home runs this year. So they could catch the Orioles. They'd have to really go bombs away to catch the 2001 Giants. Home runs on the road.
61 Yankees. How about that with Maris and Mantle? 61 hit 129. I say had a few at Yankee Stadium too. Did you ever see the movie 61?
Yep.
It's a good movie.
Yep. Good flick. Second best baseball movie, of course, right after Sandlot. But we've been through that many times. I think our viewers are sick of us talking about the Sandlot. Just saying.
Well, it's right here where we saw small. Right there. Play ball.
0-1 to Andrelton Simmons. And now 0-2. Fernando Rodney goes an inning, gives up a hit, a run, and 3 walks.
Well, you have to wonder, and for the Athletics, and Kelly, Rodney, Familia, and of course Trinan to fill it out, finish it. And right now, a save situation. That man is more concerned about the Wednesday game, as is Ryan Christensen, his first year as a bench coach for the Athletics, doing a very good job. Very complimentary of the A's skipper Bob Melvin.
So Familia has a nice inning, 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. 9th inning coming up, 5-2 A's lead.
California Ford dealers. Well, the formula for the Athletics, they had an opener, and then Trevor Cahill came in, did an outstanding job for 4 solid innings. What a relief for sure for Cahill, and then turn it over to Sean Kelly, who did a very good job. And then how about Jerice Familia? An even better job for the 8th inning. So those guys have done a tremendous job, and see if Blake Tronic comes in to try to close it out in the 9th inning, or at least pitch the 9th inning, whether it's the same situation or not. Have I mentioned about Ryan Christensen, the A's first-year bench coach, and he said it's amazing how much he has learned from not only the skipper Bob Melvin being his bench coach, but the entire staff and sitting in on the meetings. And of course, he managed successfully at the A's AA team in Midland, a couple of championships, 2 of their 4 consecutive, and he's just raving about the skipper and the amount of knowledge that he has and the way he manages the game. He said it's been a great learning experience for him.
Here's Miguel Almonte. He is pitcher number 6 in the night for the Angels. Miguel Almonte. Marcus Semien looking for his first hit. He's have 7 hits tonight. The Angels have just 3.
And I'm still looking for the E-players.
I can't help you. I've given up.
I mean, seriously. How many innings ago, Dallas?
Probably, I'd say roughly 3 or 4.
I just can't believe.
Yeah, that's the last time I trust a bat boy.
Well, I hope what you're saying is true.
It's very true, Foss. I would never do you guys like that.
Well, you got to see your grandmother before tomorrow. How quickly can she bake some more? And don't send them up through the bat boy. Bring them straight up. You know. They look good. I know they're very good. How was yours, Kipe?
I've had 3. They were great.
Well, now I know where they've gone because you went from 1 to 2, now 3.
Yeah,
See?
I told you I had to go to the bathroom a couple innings ago.
He's sandbagging, Foss.
Well, I swear, something's going on. That's amazing. I was so looking forward all year.
Scooped up by third baseman Taylor Ward on a very close play. Semien is retired.
It almost took too much time.
So hitless night for Marcus. He's 0 for 4. And here's Chad Pinder. Chad Pinder started the game at first base and is now playing third base. Bob Melvin also mentioned something. We told you Brett Anderson's going to start tomorrow. So it said something. That one is drilled to left, and it bangs off the base of the wall by Pinder. Chad Pinder hustling for second, and he's got a double. So Chad Pinder is 2 for 4.
Tremendous power for the young man. 12th double of the season, first pitch hitting, and watch what he does with his hanger. That's what you're supposed to do. Lift off over the head of Upton in left field very quickly. He just turned his back. No chance, and it came close to being another home run for him.
So hit number 8 for the Athletics, and here's Fegley.
So what did the skipper say?
Well, during his meeting with the media earlier today, he said that as far as Daniel Migden goes, Bob said he likely won't be part of the Wednesday pitching plans. That's what Melvin said about Daniel Migden. Emphasize Wednesday's pitching plans. And again, he said likely, and that could change. You never know. But that's what the skipper said. Three and 0 now to Fegley. I guess you do have to get guys ready, especially specifically starting pitchers, in case you win on Wednesday and you dive right into the division series, which would start on Friday.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, because you can't emphasize enough that you can change the roster for each series. And what the A's would do on Wednesday, should they win, could change dramatically for the division series. Yep. And you would expect it to do that. First and foremost, that one big game on Wednesday.
Division series starts on Friday, and the winner of the wild card game will be in Boston, Fenway Park, to take on the Red Sox. Games 1 and 2 would be Friday and Saturday.
I think of the player you saw, Matt Olson, who'll be participating in his first postseason. Matt Chapman, of course, and Pender just hit the double, and so many of these players, and even some of the veteran players, have had a chance to play successfully this season, but will be entering October for the first time. Even KD being season 3 consecutive for the Athletics. And Sean Manaea behind him said he's going to be traveling all the way. I said, just be careful of the celebrations.
Fegley chases that high fastball, could not lay off.
Almonte working up in the zone. Fegley, a strong dude. If he gets a hold of it, it goes. Appetizing fastball. Just overpowered.
So see if Laureano can get Pinder home. Ramon with a single, a double, 2 runs scored. He's 2 for 4. First pitch, breaking ball for a strike. Should tell you the Rockies did lose that game. 12-2 was the final. So Rockies and Dodgers are tied.
You guys were talking about possibility of Max Scherzer starting.
Yeah.
That would be something, and saying a lot about him, considering 300 strikeouts and all the good things. He could just take it to the house and say, I'm done, but I like it.
Well, that's the tenacity you want to see out of your ace, right? The tip of the spear. He's telling you, no one's going to come in here and use us for a launching pad into the postseason.
Well, that was close.
Well, close, but really not that close. I mean, from his standpoint, right there looks like it's right at his head, but the pitcher would say, I need both sides of the plate. That's a perfect example.
That one misses. So the count even, 2-2. Treinen is ready. Only the bottom 3 in the order. And the Angels in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ward, Howard, and Arcia. Upton over and back just a little bit. And that'll do it. The A's strand a runner. And bottom of the 9th coming up. Treinen coming in for the save. 5-2 A's. It is a save situation for Blake Trinan. He has 37 saves. So looking for number 38. Could be his final tune-up before Wednesday.
Well,
quite a season.
As much as he likes to work, it's really, he has been a great savior on a saving team. And how about a 79 earned run average?
Wow, look at that. So he's got the saves done. The ERA is good. So what he needs here, Ray, he needs 2 punch-outs. See? Now we got something to really root for here.
He could pitch tomorrow, too. You know, I mean, got 2 days off. Remember, he pitches better the more he pitches. But, yeah, get to 2 today. Had the ERA under 1. He's already got the saves, like you said, so that part's okay.
He'll face Taylor Ward leading it off. First pitch in the first strike. I think Blake Trinan will not, he's not going to win it, but I think he'll get a few Cy Young votes.
Yeah, he should.
So a quick 0-2. That one was 99 miles an hour, right on the block. Franklin Barreto is in the game at second base. So Jed Lowry's done for the night. Oh, 0-2 pitch, reach for, poked foul. I think Blake Snell is probably one of the odds-on favorite to win the American League Cy Young.
He's got some great numbers. He's got the wins and the low ERA.
You want to talk about a late season push. Slicing and dicing for the month of September was the lefty Blake Snell.
Yeah.
Incredible run at the end.
Well, Sales had a great year, but he has not pitched a lot lately. Verlander's had a terrific year. These are Verlander's numbers this year. 290 strikeouts. So he will get votes. Got to give some credit to the young man up in Seattle as well, Diaz. He's had a terrific season as a closer.
He logged himself another save this evening.
Got to come up short of Francisco Rodriguez for the Angels right here. 62 saves.
Tapper up the third base line, and that's going to be a base hit. So Taylor Ward with an infield hit.
Nothing you can do about it. I don't know if even the great Matt Chapman could have made this play. 2 strikes, he just topped it, beat it to the ground, wouldn't go foul. And Chad Pinder tried, but absolutely no chance.
So leadoff man aboard. That's just the 4th hit for the Angels. First pitch to Coward. Swing and a miss. A little slider at 92.
That will just never not be funny to hear from me.
Is it funnier than 92 splitter?
They're all devastating when you think about it.
'91. That was a slider, a little
Same,
up.
same thing, that cutting action. It's just funny anytime you start describing pitches that start with 9s.
That's right. Yeah.
And you're including movement.
Yeah. Some pitchers are just happy to see a 9, no matter how it moves.
I was that guy.
Oh, 2 pitch. Got him. 88 on a slider. So 3 straight sliders, and the last one probably had the tightest break to it.
Well, that's no chance right there. especially that location. He stayed inside the Cowart the whole way.
Lowest ERA in a season by an A's reliever, Oakland A's history. Dennis Eckersley at 0.61. Trinan is second. Well, how about putting a 0 first in that ERA column? You talk about 90-mile-an-hour sliders. How about ERAs under 1 for anybody? It just very, very seldom happens.
He was disappointed in Seattle when Kyle Seager got the base hit to tie the game in the 9th inning, but still nothing you can do about that. Certainly the season he has had and very important for the Athletics. I mentioned Diaz getting the save tonight. I think Diaz did so well this year to have 1-run leads and he got the save, but offense, and every closer loves a 3-run lead. Anything above 1 is great, but Trinan has pitched exceptionally well regardless of the lead.
2-0 pitch to Arcia. Miss. This is just the second at bat for Arcia. Came into the game in the 6th inning. Right there, 94. So Trinan took a little off, kind of eased it in there. 94.
And it started with the 9, Dallas.
That's it. Well, just that easy little 94 kind of mild cutting action you don't necessarily pick up because it's 94. But we've seen Blake Trinan shape that slider in the previous at bat.
Going breaking ball. Throw it hard down and in.
Ward takes off, swing and a miss, throw to second base is not in time. So there is the 100th strikeout for Blake Trinan.
Well, that's a pretty big deal. Business as usual for Blake Trinan. Tiny little slider down and in the back foot of the lefty. And that, folks, is a record-breaking historical strikeout.
Yep. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is, if you think about it. First time in Major League history. But then again, as we've watched him pitch all year, we're not really that surprised.
Yeah. Not really surprised. I mean, not when you can see the numbers and throw as hard as he does, and it's such an effortless. And the thing that really stands out was a game against Chicago early in the season, and he gave up after Jet hit a 2-run home run against Avalon, the left-hander, give the A's a big comfort behind lead. Trinan blew the save. He pitched 3 innings in the game. Kept going out, kept going out. And that's what makes him so special, because you saw Eklund there with the lowest ERA. Well, that's his interference.
But Calhoun will take it.
Well, Bob Melvin's asking what happened on this, and actually it was Fegley who told the skipper he hit my catcher's mitt.
So Calhoun's aboard at first base, and what that does do is gets the tying run to the plate. It's going to be Eric Young Jr.
That's an E2, no at bat.
E2, no at bat. So that is the second error by the A's tonight. And the first pitch to Eric Young is a swing and a miss. Eric Young is a switch hitter. 243 from the right side, 191 from the left side. That slider again, so Trinan must have a pretty good feel for that slider, especially the left-handed hitters. Just tries to bury it right at that back leg.
Well, he's got to throw it hard. You do not want to leave it hanging, and especially a lefty who's opening up anyway. A la Kepler in Minnesota when Blake did that. Of course, he had not pitched in about a week. Kind of hung a slider in the inner part of the plate.
Pitch again down and in. Now it's 2-1. Well, you got to remember who's on the on-deck circle. That's the guy, Mike Trout. So the count 2-1. Outfield shifted a little bit toward left center. Laureano is. Slowly hit to the right side. Olson has it. To Trinan, and that's the ball game. So Blake Trinan gets out of a jam in the ninth. He gets his 38th save, and the A's get win number 97. So one more to go before the wild card game on Wednesday in New York. 3 hours and 11 minutes was your time of game played in front of 43,762. Final score tonight from the Big A, the Athletics 5 and the Angels 2. Time now for A's post-game live. Let's head back to the studio where Brody Brazil is standing by.